platforms, and then I am going to go live. So good afternoon, everyone. I am live on Facebook, I'm live on Instagram, and I am live on YouTube at the same time. I really wanted to do a live today around a topic that has come up in my Facebook page, and a number of persons have. I just saw the live today and I saw the comment in my Facebook group. So I have a book group, and in my book group somebody was having a conversation, and around it came out that some people kind of feel like they actually have not been given they haven't been given an opportunity by society. Good afternoon, everyone. I am live on Facebook. And they haven't been given an opportunity by society. And I had to say to somebody in my group today that you cannot wait on society to create the opportunities for you, that you have got to be your own rescue. And it's something that I actually have to echo out loud and clear, because so many of us have gone through our lives having this expectation that this person is going to do for me and that person is going to do for me. And that expectation that we carry around, expecting the society and people to do for us, is oftentimes why so many of us are left disappointed, never achieve our goals, and end up in burnout, commit suicide, become alcoholics, become drug addicts, and so forth and so on. And I learned this from a very early age, that you have to become your own rescue. You have to be the one and only person that you can depend on. You have to become that person that will never let you down. Let me repeat that. I have come to learn that you have to be that person that will never let you down. When you become the person who is your own rescue first and foremost, then you don't worry about the other people around you, because in this world, you can only depend on yourself. And so often we walk around this life expecting everybody else to be able to guarantee us stuff. You know, we go to the shop, we want a guarantee on our hair, we want a guarantee on our nails, we want a guarantee on whatever we buy. You know, everything we do, we want a guarantee. However, we don't ask ourselves for guarantee. We don't ask ourselves to guarantee the things that we didn't do to ourselves. And if I'm looking in this screen and that screen, it's because I'm three different places. We don't ask ourselves for our own guarantees. If more of us were asking ourselves for guarantees, then we would be more accountable to ourselves, and we would be more responsible, and we would be less disappointed, because we've come to recognize that the only person in this world that you can depend on is yourself. And I'm here to say to you on YouTube and on Facebook and on Instagram that you have to understand that the world owes you nothing. I learned this very early. Very early. The world and society owes you nothing. When you realize that nobody owes you anything, it is when you understand that you have to literally make it happen for yourself. And so some of us, not me, who grew up with, I tell my kids all the time, they're very privileged. They're so privileged. They expect from me, they expect from their mom what I couldn't expect from my own mother. They have an expectation of me that I couldn't expect from my own parents. So they are privileged and they're entitled. And so whilst children can depend and feel entitled on their parents, as human beings, we should not have any entitlement to society and governments and places like that, because they don't owe us anything. And so you have to understand that you have to put the mask on yourself first. You have got to be the first example of how you should be treated. I learned this very late in my life. I learned this very late in my journey. I had so much expectations from so many people. I had so much disappointment. I was crying all the time. I was disappointed. I was let down. I was hurt. I was used. I was abused by friends and family and foe and husbands and everybody else. I was abused because I had expectations. I thought this person shouldn't have let me down. You should be there for me, but I've done so much for you. And we all have those expectations. We all go through those periods in our lives when we keep thinking that, but I would not have done you like this. And so we have expectations. And when those expectations are not met, we become disappointed. But today I'm going to leave you with something that I learned in 2017. And I am 16, I think it was 16 or 17. I learned it and it stuck with me. A friend of mine, CC President, who was Lisa Nichols' president, said to me, do not expect from people what they did not promise you. Do not expect from people what they did not promise you. And when you don't expect, that is when you cannot be disappointed or hurt. But the moment you start expecting from people what they didn't promise you. They did not say, this is what I'm going to promise. And even when people promise you, they can break it. This is why we have divorces, for example. As a divorcee, I can tell you that. When your husband went to the altar, or your wife or your partner, they promised to love, they promised forever, they promised to cherish, death do us part, or whatever your vows are, but they break it sometimes. That's because you cannot even expect what people promise. So be your own rescue. Be your own example, right? That way you're not let down, you're not disappointed. And when things don't go the way you expect it to go, you're not sure. Nowadays, when people disappoint me, okay, like genuinely, it took me a long time to get here. I used to be so depressed and down and upset and hurt when my friend let me down. I had a friend who borrowed some money from me and didn't hear from her for years. It was the money to pay my rent. She disappeared just like that. And I couldn't find her for years. And I remember feeling so angry at myself, so upset, so disappointed in myself, so hurt. How could you do this to me? We go way back. You are supposed to be my friend. And for years, I went through these cycles. Went through these cycles for years, expecting from people what they did not promise. Hi, Ayanda, how you doing? What they did not promise me. And so you let yourselves down. So as I leave you in this life right now, I'm going to leave you reminded that you must not expect from people what they did not promise you. And when you do that, I guarantee you, you will live a better, easier life. I was saying to somebody yesterday, we were talking about relationships, and she was really angry and she was upset that her husband has just gone ahead and cheated on her and moved close by with his girlfriend, and she's hurt and she's angry. And when I finished talking to her, my chest was hurting me because she was so overwhelming with grief, and she's grieving the loss of her marriage, and she's angry. And I said to her, my ex-husband worked in the office with his girlfriend, who he's married to now, and I didn't know for a long time. And I didn't go fighting. I just came to the point where it was hard. And I came to the point where I accepted that I was not the person he wanted to be with. Now I can say that very easily now, but at the time it was painful. It was, you were dealing with rejection. I was dealing with the hurt and the rejection and the pain, but I also recognized that I had to accept that this was his choice. This was his decision. This is who he wanted to love, that he no longer loved me, or probably he never even loved me. But in that moment, I was not his choice. And that kind of rejection is painful to deal with. That kind of rejection is hard to deal with. But I also had to accept that I cannot force him to do this, that this is his choice. He chose somebody else. He chose to be with somebody else. He did not choose me, and I had to come to terms with that. And it took me working through it. So I had to go and learn the tools and the skills that today I can speak about it and it doesn't even impact me. But I had to become my own rescue. I had to recognize that I owed it to me to step up and step out and be my own rescue. I want to encourage you today that whatever it is that you're struggling with, whatever it is that is bothering you, whatever it is that's making your life a misery, whatever it is that's causing you grief and pain and hurt, I'm going to say to you that you need to step up and understand that nothing is going to change until you become your own rescue. And the moment you have that shift in your mind, in your brain, in your cranium, in your functionality, in your awareness, that the only person that can make the change in your life is yourself. When you have that moment, that light bulb moment, when you get to that space where that switch is turned on, and once you start implementing, right, and you start doing that, you're going to realize how much your life is going to change. If I can serve you in any way as a book coach, an author, a specialist in any way, I do ask you to please contact me, whether if you're on my Instagram, you can direct message me. You can also follow me at The Mango Girl. Two, that's my brand. You can email me, info@avabrown.org. If you're on Facebook, you can literally just, literally sit there and just say hello. You know how to find me. Whatever you choose to do, I'm going to say to you that it is best to understand, if you take nothing else from this conversation, right? If you forget everything from this conversation, I want to say to you that remember that you are your own rescue. Nobody's going to show up for you how you desire to be served but you. Have a great weekend. I'll see you guys soon. Bye for now. So I'm ending my live on my Instagram, and I'm ending my live on Facebook in a minute. So bear with me. And I'm ending my life on YouTube. So those who are on YouTube, please don't forget to follow me, like and subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you can get all of my videos. If you're on Facebook and you're not following me on YouTube, please follow me. I'm just doing a space now where I'm just sharing my thoughts, my views, and how I'm feeling. It's just an emptying space right now. As time progresses, I may choose to do something more with my YouTube channel. I'm quite not sure what I want to do yet. But what I know that I want to come here and motivate and inspire and transform and share and even heal myself as I do this process. So please remember to like, share, hit the notification bell, and subscribe. And comment below and let me know whether you're on Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn or YouTube. Let me know which part of this message resonated with you the most, which part of it impacted you, which part of it you agree with, which part of it you want to talk about, discuss. Please, let's have the conversation. I really think that in this new world that we find ourselves in, we are going to have to be the change that we want to see in the world. And that's where I'm standing. That's where my heart and soul align right now, is being that change. So until next time, thank you so much for watching, following, commenting, sharing, being in my space. I love you guys. Have a great weekend. And I will